Only teach what's on the test. No problemo. About 2 months ago I worked for an absolute tyrant of an administrator. Dude was terrible. Terrible enough to warrant me writing in the apparent point of view of a 48-year-old teacher wishing he was Sigma. But I digress. Before working for the school I was teaching 8th grade math, 4th grade math, or being an academic coach for the previous 18 or so years. I switched school primarily due to location. I found a school on the other side of the mountain I stare at nightly and figured it was a good match. Nope. This admin, we'll call him Pop and Fresh, shut me down every step of the way. I entered the school middle of the school year, with very rough kids, and my first day training the academic coach for the school and district, train us up on this math/ELA/anything you want gaming program called GimKit. I understand that GimKit is an education in and of itself. It's simply a 5-minute tool to find out if kids know the content, and it engages the kids greatly. My first day with students I saw their terrible behaviors. They ran 2 other teachers out of there, evidently, so I decided it was going to take a little bit of grace to get them to listen to me. I showed them GimKit. They had popped open their Chromebooks for no more than 30 seconds when TA, terrible admin/Pop and Fresh, came in and shut it down instantly. He never assesses the situation. He just sees kids on hokey-looking activities as he literally pops in the classroom, bouncing around like he's on something. Anyway, this happened all the time. I would instruct for no more than 8 minutes tops, and walk around and help them with concepts the best I could. I would be walking around, he would pop in and tell me to change something. Like clockwork. Every program or strategy or center-based activity I try to use to get the 7th graders motivated gets shut down instantly, and he finally says out loud, teach only what's on the tests. Nothing more. Bet. I took this as an opportunity to enter some MC with a side of I can't believe I'm here. I start going by the book 100%. Anytime a student asks why do we do it like this, when we're working on surface area and volume, I only say that's not on the test. Anytime I, naturally, find an urge to find a connection to other standards, I stop myself. It's not on the test. Over a short amount of time, students are frustrated and sitting there yawning. It pains me greatly, so I decide to only apply my MC when good ol' Pop and Fresh pops his way back into my classroom. He finally pops in with his boss, and a couple of people I've never seen before. I instantly switch from my going deeper, thinking outside the box, activity-based learning to exactly what he wants, teaching only what's on the test. I instantly turn into Ben Stein from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and the kids instantly groan, saying, Mr. Opp, I hate when you teach us like this. Comments from the students fly about the room, this is the worst part of my day, I hate math now thanks, and many much more colorful, expletive-laden commentary. Frank Caliendo even popped in for a spell. Now here's a guy who doesn't know how to motivate students. Boom. Pop and Fresh even doubled down on his usual banter, putting on a show for his crew of bosses. These kids seem highly unmotivated. OP, we need to meet about this if you can't get them engaged. I interjected, you said to only teach what's on the test, so that's what I'm doing. Only what's on the test, right? Like if they wanted to know why this happens or that happens, or how to solve this a different way, that's not on the test, right? You told me just to be up and be teaching and never have them on their Chromebooks, right? I said this to him, in definite earshot of his accompanying party, mainly because I had a feeling these were the head honchos. The ones who signed off on spending all that money to make our school a true one-to-one school. A school where every student has a Chromebook. Not utilizing the Chromebooks is something I knew that was something Pop and Fresh believed in, but I had a feeling that the district would want the kids properly utilizing them. He answered back to me, I only stopped you from using the Chromebooks because the kids were all just playing games. The students interject, then it's a math game. The head honcho moved to Interjection City, well let's see what this math game is all about. I had the kids get their Chromebooks. They all excitedly logged on, I pulled up a surface area and volume GimKit, and the kids were feverishly playing the game, using pencils and notebooks to solve the problems needed to be answered to gain ammunition in their game. It was active. It was fun for all. I paused the game when needed to show different ways to isolate the variable when solving surface area problems, especially of spheres and cones, etc. It was what education was supposed to be. Pop and Fresh ran out of pop, and by the end of the day I received an email from the head honcho himself asking me about him and how things were going. I was honest with him. I told him about his assaults, threats of assaults, and hiding assaults. All things that I'm sure would be an interesting part of this tale, but they aren't related to the MC inherent here. It's also an ongoing investigation, even 2 months later as I'm teaching at a new school on the other side of the proverbial mountain. Poppin' Fresh is under investigation for what he's been doing to me and other new teachers, to the school, and it's crawling all the way up the chain.